Welcome to Hancock's VMware Half Hour.
And welcome back to another episode of Hancock's VMware Half Hour. Okay, so if you've been following this little homelab mini-series in Hancock's VMware Half Hour, you would have seen in the last couple of parts, I've been sort of kind of recommending the ASRock rack or the Datto server. And in the first part, we basically had a look at flashing the BIOS and flashing the BMC. In the second part, we dropped an NVMe stick in and we installed ESXi 8.03, update 3, I think it was. But obviously, beginning of this month, last month actually, 4th of March, we had this 0-day critical update. So in today's video, what we're going to do, we're going to fix that. We're going to install the latest patch. We're going to do it over the air. I'm going to do the dirty method for the last time. What I mean by the dirty method is we're going to do the over-the-air update. So the first thing I'm going to do that I need to do is to log in on the host. I could do this by basically using the HTML host client, connect to the server and start the services there. But I thought, well, I've got a BMC connection. I'm headless. So let's do it here. So I'm going to basically select troubleshooting options and I'm going to enable the ESXi shell and I'm going to enable SSH. Now, hopefully that's actually going to give me, I'm just going to run PuTTY over here and get a connection. Almost got the wrong IP address there. What's our IP address? Back at the beginning again. So we're 182.121. Accept that. Log in as root. I'm just going to expand that screen. I tell you what I'll do. We'll max this out to this screen as well. Just 1 moment. Okay, so here we have. You know that I like a double SSH session. So I've enabled SSH and the ESXi shell on our ESXi server, the new one here. So I'm going to tail the logs. So I'm going to do, so that's tail space dash F space /var/log /ESX update.log. And then in the top session, tell you what, we'll move these around. If we put this one at the top, and we'll put this one at the bottom. And I'll just change the size of that. Okay, probably look a little bit better. So what I'm going to do in the bottom screen, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to do an ESX CLI space network space firewall space rule set dash space set dash E true dash R HTTP client. So that's just changing the firewall rule to allow HTTP access out of the server. The next thing I'm going to do, let's just see that we can actually connect to the server here. 121. We get a certificate warning. And I'm going to log in with the root and the password that I set. It's logged in. Okay, I'm going to join the customer improvement program. I'm not going to join the customer improvement program. Okay. Interesting. The certificate assigned to the host is not valid yet. You should install a valid certificate. I'm wondering whether or not that's because the time's wrong on the server. Or something. Don't know. Have to have a little look at that. Okay, so I'm just going to bob this into maintenance mode. Not that it's actually basically running any workloads. I'm going to bob that to maintenance mode. Yeah, that's in maintenance mode. Okay, I'm going to go back to my SSH sessions. And I'm basically going to do an ESX CLI software profile update -P followed by the profile name. That's the latest version. That's the 8.0 U3D version, build 245-85383, followed by -D. Now, of course, this is the URL that's going to change on the 23rd of April. Hostupdate.vmware.com is going to change to download dl.broadcom.com, I think. But you're going to need to have a generated token to be able to use this. So we're going to do a -- dry run, -- no hardware warning, and I'm going to hit enter. I got that wrong somewhere. What did it like? Invalid option, no hardware warning. So let's just delete that. And therefore we can actually basically see that that's running. This is a dry run, so no changes to be made on the host. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have, no favorite soft drink available. I've drunk it all. So what I'll do, I'll speed this up in post, and I will come back shortly. Oh, we finished. Okay, so we've got a memory error. So I have showed you how to fix this memory error before. So just let me go to my notes. Now, as I've actually mentioned before, the reason for the memory error is that Python, which basically runs this ESXi update, has to trawl through pages and pages and pages of information with the number of updates from 7 and 8. And basically, it's just not enough memory. So we're going to increase the memory from 300 to 500 megabytes. And I've already got these commands. And I've done a video about this before, so this isn't the first time. So I'm just pasting and cutting from my notes, he says. Right, so I'm going to continue to copy. So that command there changes the memory from 300 meg to 500 meg. And then we're just going to move files, and then we're just going to make that change, and then we'll rerun. So let's just now rerun that again, and hopefully that's going to continue this time, and we're not going to get the memory error. So I will I'm going to disappear, and we'll speed this up in post. And I thought I was going to have to add the no hardware warning. So -- no hardware warning. So it still doesn't like the processors, as I said. Oh, let's just try that again. It would help if I could spell hardware, R-E, enter, and kick that off again. So I think the Broadwell, I think, is possibly maybe the oldest processor, I think, that's supported. Anyway, I'm going to disappear, speed all this up in post for you. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, So that seems to have worked. If we actually basically have a little look, the update result, dry run only, host not changed, the following installers will be applied, the following will be removed. So let's just go for it for real. So I'm going to just delete the dry run option, followed by enter. So now our host is going to be changed. So with that, again, I'm going to bob off and I'll come back when it's completed. Okay, I'm back. That's it, completed. So all we need to do now is a reboot. Like we can see here, the update completed successfully, but the system needs to be rebooted. Yes, of course. Vibs installed, Vibs removed, Vibs skipped, reboot true. So I'm just going to go back to our BMC. I'm going to do an F12, and we're going to do a restart, please. And hopefully, when the restart is completed, we will actually basically see that we are running our fresh new build. They're the SSH sessions that have been dropped, so they're now junk. Just close those, get rid of those, and let's just wait basically for our host to restart. It's interesting, in recent news this week, if you watch one of my news items that I did maybe last week or the week before, there was news circulating that Broadcom have decided that the minimum core count that you could purchase was 72. Which I suppose, really, to be honest, really is an organization, you know, if you've 72 min core count, it's not really a great deal. You know, if you're running 3 nodes in vSAN or 4 nodes in vSAN, you're probably going to have more cores than that across your environment. However, if you're just a single node user and you need to renew, then I suppose that becomes a little bit tricky for you. However, I have seen in news in the last 24 hours, or I think it might have been 48 hours, that's been overturned in the EU. I'm not sure if the EU includes the UK. Of course, if you don't know, the UK left the European Union or the EEC with Brexit. Obviously, we're still in Europe. You can't remove that from us. We are still in Europe. But as for the EU, the European Union of countries were not in the EU anymore because we left through Brexit. So I'm not sure if that's applicable to British customers or not, or customers that reside in the UK. Anyway, that's just as an aside while we were waiting for that to boot. Okay, so there we go. Build 245858383, which is 8.0.3D, which fixes the critical update. And as we've seen there in that update, we can still use the old, we'll call them legacy URLs to update our hosts. I have seen some news circulating on Reddit that changes have already been made and you can't use those URLs anymore. Well, there's the proof. On the 10th of April 2025, we can still use the dirty method and update our hosts over the air. Okay, so again, thanks very much for watching another Hancock's VMware Half Hour. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, don't like it, give a thumbs down. But whatever you do, please subscribe and come back for the next series, mini-series in this, what we're going to call homelab, which is revolving around this particular server. And there is a reason, I'm not telling you what, but there is a reason to get to this. And I may have mentioned a few videos back that we were going to do this. I haven't forgotten, but I thought this would be an ideal opportunity to use this server to demonstrate that. And then maybe we'll add it to our VMware vCenter Server 8 cluster as well in the future as well. Okay, so that's all for me to say. Cheerio and goodbye.